Do not argue with what you are dealt in either cards or life, for once they are in your hands, it is up to you on how to go about playing them. This is because a bad hand played right can win you the game. So with that said, Gin. Greetings and welcome to Checkpoint Gaming. With this episode, we will be going over how to play the game of Gin Rummy. With Gin Rummy, it is a card matching game that is played between two players with a standard 52 card deck, with the objective to be the first player to score the agreed upon number of points and get rid of dead wood, although the standard number of points to achieve is 100. With the ranking of the cards in each suit, it runs from Ace being the lowest value card and the King being the highest value card. With the Ace, it is valued at 1, while each face card is valued at 10. All of the other cards are valued at their stated number. In order to achieve victory, players are to form matching sequences of cards that are known as melds. With these melds, they consist of two types, sets and runs. With a set, they consist of 3 or 4 cards of the same rank. With runs, they consist of 3 or more consecutive cards in a sequence of the same suit. A run can also be increasing or decreasing in order. Melds are also disjointed. What this means is that melds cannot share cards. Melds also cannot be laid down until someone has gone gin or knocks. At the beginning of the game, a dealer is to be selected. This can be done however the players agree upon to decide who the initial dealer is. And with how we play, whoever won the last round will be the dealer for the next round. From there, the dealer is to shuffle the deck and then randomly deal 10 cards to the players, one at a time, alternating them with the first card being dealt going to the non-dealer player. The remaining 32 cards, which is known as the stock, is placed face down between the players. The top card is then turned face up and placed next to the stock. This card will start off the face-up discard pile. This card is known as the up card. From there, the non-dealer player will begin play by deciding if they want to take the up card or not. If the non-dealer player decides to decline to take the up card, then the dealer player can decide to take the up card or not. If the dealer player decides to decline to take the up card, then the non-dealer player will draw from the top of the stock. Once this is done, the players will, in turn, get to draw a card from either the top of the stock or the top up card found in the discard pile. This is done at the beginning of the turn and before they remove one card from the hand. With the discarded card, it is to be placed face up onto the discard pile at the end of the turn. This will become the new up card. However, this discard cannot be the card that the player just drew. With getting rid of deadwood, it is achieved by melding as many cards in the player's hand as possible in order to get gin or to knock. With deadwood, it consists of the cards that are not found in a meld. When it comes to that of deadwood points, they consist of the sum of the card point values found in all of the player's deadwood cards. If all 10 cards found in the player's hand are matching in melds, thus their deadwood is consisting of 0, then said player is able to go gin. In order to go gin, the player will place the discarded card face down upon the discard pile and will then lay down their cards arranged in melds. From there, they will score 25 points plus the deadwood value of their opponents, if any. With going gin, it is done after the player has drawn a card but before discarding. It is also possible for a player to engage in an 11 card gin. The player is also able to knock after drawing a card and before discarding, but only if their deadwood count consists of 10 or less. The player who knocks, they are known as the knocker and will then lay down their cards, arranged in melds, with the unmatched cards being placed separate. From there, the 11th card is to be discarded. From there, the opponent will lay down their melds and lay off any of their unmatched cards that fit into the set of the knocker as of a matching meld. This causes a reduction of their own count of unmatched cards. The opponent will lay off as much of their unmatched cards as they can. If the knocker is in position with a lower count of unmatched cards, then they will win the difference between the two players' counts. But if the opponent has an equal or lower count to the knocker, then the opponent will have undercut the knocker and will score the difference in the count, if any, plus a 25-point bonus. The knocker also cannot be 13 undercut if they have gone gin. But if neither player has gone gin or knocks by the time that there are 2 cards left in the stock, then there will be no score for either player during that given deal. From there, all the cards will be shuffled and a new hand is to replace the current hand with the same player acting as dealer. The first player to have scored 100 points will win the game. From there, a 100 point bonus is to be added to the winner's score. Each player will then add 25 points to their total score for each hand that they won. This bonus is known as the box or line bonus, but this box or line bonus is optional. Once this has been completed, the winner will be awarded points equal to the difference in the 2 total scores. But if the loser fails to score any points, then this difference is to be doubled. A game that sees the loser scoring no points is known as a Schneider, with the loser having been skunked. With the scoring system that has just been described, it is a scoring system used in North America and is a default scoring system. With that said, there is a United Kingdom version of the scoring system where the player scoring gin will get 20 points instead, while the undercut bonus is that of 10 bonus points. With all that taken care of, we can now touch upon some variants to the game. With the variants that we list here are just those that we chose to list, although there are more available to use. With the Oklahoma Gin, the first up card is flipped after dealing out the hands, and it will determine the maximum value of deadwood card the player is allowed to have in order to knock. With how we play, this means that the ace requires the player to go gin. In addition to this, if the first up card is a spade, then the end tally is to be doubled for the winner. With the Disco Gin, it's played in 3 rounds to a score of 200 points, with aces counting as being either high or low, depending upon the need of the player. This also allows for runs to be continuous, so a player can have something like Ace King 2 melds. Accompanying this, a Deadwood Ace will count as 15 points. Finally, we'll be talking about Continental Rummy, where players will have to wait until they can play their entire hand and are able to play it in any of the following sequences: 5 3-card runs, 3 4-card runs, and 1 3-card run, or 1 5-card run, 1 4-card run, and 2 3-card runs. Accompanying this, when a player goes out, they will receive the following points: 1 point for going out, 1 point for every 2 melds, 2 points for every joker meld, 10 points if they did not use a joker or a 2 in a meld, 7 points if a player goes out on their first turn, 10 points if they go out on their first turn and they didn't need to draw a card, and 10 points if they have other cards in their hand consisting of a single suit. So with that said, that's what you need to know in order to play Gin Rummy. If you like this episode, feel free to give it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on any future episodes we upload, go ahead and subscribe. You can also support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/checkpointgaming. See you in the next episode, and happy gaming.